Hello and welcome to Global Armenians. We're all fascinated by the art of cinema, but rare are the filmmakers who have the persistence, perseverance, and talent to make a name for themselves. One such talented filmmaker is Pedros Temizian. He joins us here at CivilNet. Pedros, welcome.
Welcome, thank you.
You have made a name for yourself by directing a lot of music videos for underground artists in Beirut. Tell us about how you got started with music video directing.
Actually, I was always interested in music. Since childhood, we always listened to music from classical to jazz, etc. Then I studied cinema. I did 1 year in Yerevan. Then I moved to Beirut, finished there filmmaking, and started working in advertising actually, as an assistant director, sometimes directing stuff. Then at some point, the new underground scene started to refresh itself in Beirut, from Scrambled Eggs to Incompetence to Zed Hamdan and many more, like hip-hop musicians, electronic musicians. So the first time I decided to do the music video for the Incompetence, I came back from London. I was like obsessed with the film noir, and I saw a lot of, since a long time, I saw a lot of movies for the film noir, Hitchcock and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm doing a music video for the Incompetence. Then the idea started from there, film noir and murder and stuff, but with the humor in it. And I shot it on 16mm in black and white. That was my first music video. From then on, I started being interested more in doing like the Slaughterhouse music video for their first album. It's more like electronic dance album. Then again, Incompetence, they came back, and so on. Like then I did Hiba, Fog and Nachel, which was quite popular. I worked a lot with stop motion animation technique.
Well, let's go back to Incompetence, and now let's show the folks at home the prelude video. Set this up. What are we going to be seeing?
Prelude to an Abyss was the first music video for the Incompetence, and it was for their first album. So I decided to do this song especially because it has a very like surrealist kind of lyrics, and the music, it was very interesting. So it starts with like we see the four guys, the band actually, wearing in their gangster look from the 40s. Sitting, one of them is on the floor, which wearing a woman's clothes, and the other guy, the vocalist Serge, is holding a hammer. Like we do the connection that he did that. Then the trip starts when we see that they took the guy, put him in the trunk, and went on the way to bury him. So it's like a small short movie, but done in like a very simple story. Like they killed the guy, they took him to the trunk, and they bury him at the end. And we see both of them looking at each other with like, I did a projection of the road like they used to do in the old times. Then the projection of the moon, they're looking at each other, and that's the end.
We've been looking at the video, so let's listen to it with music full. Here's the clip from Bedros' music video.
You can shoot at the dead body, but you can't hurt it anymore. I've already been shot, now you can build some castle with my ashes. Oh my love, you're such a challenge for Christian forgiveness. Oh, but it's torture with time. After leaving our flat, I looked at the sky and got what I saw. Oh, clouds look like they had cancer. You see, with your round, even Santa gets sick. Oh my love, you're such a challenge for Christian forgiveness. Oh, but it's torture with time. Now that I'm figuring should give it up. Give it up. Give me to you. Oh.
That was a clip from Pedros Temizian's music video from the band Incompetence, a big band in the underground scene in Beirut. Explain why the underground is so big compared to US or other places like Europe.
Actually, the underground is, I'm always interested in the underground, and I think everywhere in the world there is underground. Even when I came to Yerevan, I was like trying to find some underground bands and stuff. I found some, but I just was able to catch Bambir's concert, which they're not very of an underground, but at least it's an alternative scene from the mainstream music. So in Beirut, it's very, people are really interested in the underground scene, like music-wise, and it had different levels and stages. Like it started with the alternative rock, then the Arabic, like Oriental, Oriental alternative, if you want, I can say, and then you have the hip hop. It's very big again in Lebanon. Plus now it's really, I'm really interested in the electronic music, which is not the electronic that we go to the clubs and we dance for. It's like really in the intellectual electronic music scene.
What is intellectual electronic?
It's more experimental. It's more like you go and listen to it. You go, you don't necessarily dance to it. You know, it's like. And a lot of people are doing very good job. Like you have Okie Dokie, you have even from Scrambled Eggs, he's playing like experimental stuff, and it's getting really interesting, the electronic scene in Lebanon.
Would you say that the Lebanese music scene, with all of its number of clubs and nightlife, do those always, are they avant-garde for Europeans and American music? So does this music eventually end up becoming part of pop?
I don't think so. No, the underground always stays underground. Of course, it has levels of being underground or alternative. Like you have Mashrou' Layla now, which they're quite big in Lebanon and in the Middle East. They started as a very small group because they sing in Arabic, but they use very rock and alternative music. And they're quite popular now. For example, they moved to the other level now, from becoming an underground to a bit more of a mainstream music. So
and one of your videos was on regular television. Talk about MTV and Future TV. What did they play?
Actually, two of the videos were on TV. Actually, three of them: Slaughterhouse, Incompetence, and Hiba. Which was Hiba was the most popular because it's in Arabic and it's a traditional song, but it was remixed by Zed Hamdan, which is more of an electronic side of the Oriental. It was on MTV, on Future TV, and I don't remember different TVs it was on.
Let's take a look at Slaughterhouse. This is another one of Pedros's videos.
These creatures are nothing but pure motorized instinct. They must be destroyed on sight.
That's Slaughterhouse Blues, directed by Pedros Temizian. Pedros, how do you envision this? You listen to a song, and what images come to your mind?
Actually, it always happens in parallel. I usually be very obsessed in some type of movies or music videos or whatever, and it happened like I look for that kind of music that it might work together. So in that period when I did Slaughterhouse Blues, I was obsessed with zombies and those futuristic movies and stuff. So I did the link between the type of music because it goes like really fast and the electronic type of rock. And I envisioned like, okay, what can I do to have a bit of humor in it again with the zombies? So apparently this zombie, which is the artist Rabi' Saloom, he's a thief of women's bags. We don't know why. So every time he sees a woman with her bag, he just takes the bag, looks in it, and he finds nothing in it until he finds his ultimate love, the other zombie woman with the bag standing and stuff. So it's like a funny story, but with a zombie
theme. Do you ever feel the need to have something long form where these characters that come to your mind will end up in a feature film? Have you thought about movies?
Actually, I don't know, but now I'm writing a script with an Italian director. His name is Maurizio Longhi. Actually, he wrote the script, and I'm working on it because it's related to the area, to the Middle East, and everything. And it has the mood of my themes. It has death in it. It has humor in it. It has end of the world type of theme in it, but related to the Middle East. So I hope it works soon.
Just to let folks know about your history, you were born in Syria, and you mentioned you studied here and are now in Beirut. Does your Armenian ethnicity identity come into play in any of these music videos or your creativity?
Of course, I consider a person is a bunch of a lot of influences from different places. From the family, from the school, from the country that you're living in, where did you study. So we are always bombarded with different types of, I'm not only an Armenian, I have different cultures especially now with the internet and everything. We don't have one identity, we are influenced by different identities. So I'm a bit from everything.
And you're also involved in the Armenian community. We talked earlier about your work to help a campaign in bringing the Agos editor to Lebanon. Tell us about that.
Actually, I had a flatmate. She was Italian. She was really interested. She's a journalist. So we did this event to raise money to get Robert, the Agos editor, recently, to get him to Lebanon, and he talks about the Armenian issue in Turkey. And actually, it was a big event, and we did get the money, and we did get Robert to Lebanon. It was quite interesting, and he did like 3 nights of lecturing.
So the connections are still there with your Armenian community in Beirut?
Yeah, more or less, yes.
Okay. What are you working on now? What's your next project?
Actually, before I came to Yerevan, one day before I was shooting my last music video. It's still being edited now for a hip hop artist called Chino. His real name is Nasser Shorbaji. He's part of a hip hop group from Lebanon. They called Fari El Atrash. And he's doing his solo album, and the song is called OPP, Other People's Property, which is about the suicide bomber who's lost between doing the thing, like exploding himself, and not doing it. And it has more like my interpretation was more like quitting or not quitting, like being in part of the corporate life from 9 to 5, working like a slave, or not being in part of that. So
Reminds me of Viken Berberian's Cyclist. You should read that novel if you haven't. How do people follow you on social media? Where can they
Actually,
find you?
it's online. I have my Vimeo channel now under Pedros Temizian. Yeah, they can find all my stuff, and even on YouTube, I have all my videos. And of course, the first hit is always on Facebook. We post it on Facebook, where when you have 3,000 friends like me,
That's a lot of friends.
yeah, they can be following me.
Okay. Very good. Bedros, it's great to find out about your work, and we look forward to seeing more of your talent on social media as well as mainstream television. Keep us in touch and let us know what you're doing. Thank you very much. And thank you at home for joining us on CivilNet.